I'm sure that you've been to many funerals and you've supported people as they've tried to make choices about funeral homes, and sometimes it's hard to know what advice should I give to this person while they're trying to figure out what does that funeral look like, what kind of funeral home should I choose. So let me give you a few things to keep in mind when you're encouraging and supporting that person as they select a funeral home and what they're going to do maybe for services for that person that's died in their life. The number one consideration, I'm sorry to say somewhat, is cost. Funerals can be extremely expensive, and you don't want that person that you care about to experience an exorbitant cost that's going to be a burden for them, not just momentarily, but maybe even for some time to come. It is a known fact that funerals, especially in the state of Indiana, are extremely expensive, way out of whack with the rest of the nation, to be honest. And so you want to coach that person to say, recognize that you're going to have some costs involved here, and it's okay for that person to ask ahead of time, what kind of costs am I going to incur, and are there ways to mitigate that cost that won't be detrimental to our experience? Another option that they could choose is cremation. Sometimes cremation is a less expensive option, but of course you're going to want to ask them, is this going to be good for your family? Is it going to be meaningful for you, not just right now with the cost savings, but for years to come as you think about this person in your life? Maybe it's a way that you as a church can partner with those people. If that cost is out of reach for them, but they want to have a certain type of service, maybe that's a special way that you can make a meaningful difference in their lives. You also want to consider the space. Is this a person who's going to have lots of people coming from all over the country for their funeral? Think about lodging, but also think about when that funeral is held, are you going to need a large space, or would a smaller, more intimate space be appropriate? Encourage them to contact their life insurance company early on to get the process moving so that in the midst of their grief that they don't have to handle the burden as much of that financial obligation for the funeral. So when they're working with that funeral home and trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do in that situation, they can ask for financial assistance even from the funeral home. Many funeral homes have great opportunities for benevolence for people that are in financial need. And also encourage them, if they have unique requests, we're sort of used to funerals looking sort of cookie cutter and the same from one to the next. But if they have something that would be special to that person who died or special to them as they remember that person, encourage them to just ask. And maybe you can advocate with them, go to that meeting with the funeral home with them and say, this is something that was important to this person or is important in this situation. Is there a way that we can honor this request? As they're looking at funeral homes and trying to figure out which one to choose and examining the cost, one excellent resource, really the number one funeral home comparison website when you're looking at quality and cost, is a website called parting.com. You can put in your location, what you're looking for, and learn quite a lot about the funeral home they may select.